So I ran my tracks through an audio analyzer, and some of the results I found were honestly surprising. So some of the tracks that I thought were high quality actually were not. And if you're DJing, this is important because what we're going to talk about today affects how your music and how your sets sound to your listeners.
You are listening to the DJ Mentor. Real tips, real music, real growth.
So most DJs think if it says 320 kilobytes per second, it's a high quality file, and it should be. However, if you convert a low quality file into 320, yes, it looks 320, it reads 320, but the damage has already been done. Once you've lost data, it's gone forever. And this is essentially what we call a fake 320. It's a fakely upconverted file, essentially. Okay, so let's run some of our files through the tool. And one of the first stats and important stats we're going to see is cutoff frequency. So essentially the cutoff frequency gives us an idea of the spectrum of frequencies in the file. And if we see 20 kilohertz, that means we have the full spectrum of sound and we're reaching 20 kilohertz. So we're reaching those high frequencies. That's a good sign. However, if you see 15 kilohertz or 16 kilohertz, that's a red flag, and that means you're missing those higher frequencies. That means you're missing a big portion of sound, essentially. So if you're seeing 15 or 16 kilohertz, that might mean your file was ripped off of SoundCloud or YouTube, or maybe it was low quality first and then fake upconverted to become a fake 320, essentially. So essentially, if your cutoff frequency is around 15 or 16 kilohertz, that means you're missing the air, the sparkle, the clarity, those higher frequencies, and essentially your track will sound a little more dull or flat. So why does this matter? This matters because when you take your tracks out to play in front of people, you're either going to feel it painfully because you have a low quality track, or you're going to have a great set. So if you have a low quality track and you're testing it on your laptop, you're not going to hear the difference through those tiny little laptop speakers. But you take that track to amplified systems or even just studio monitors, a high quality track is going to sound like clarity. It's going to sound clear. I like to think of the sound as piercing through the speaker. Compared to a low quality track, it's dull, muffled, maybe sounds a little underwater. It sounds weak. And it's just not going to hit the same as a high quality track, even if it's played at the same volume, because it's missing information in certain frequencies. Now we also see high frequency energy. This is the hidden one, but it's very, very important and it's a little bit advanced. So if you're a DJ still watching this, you are a nerd. I am too, so don't worry, but I still get bitches though. So essentially high frequency energy is how much information you actually have in those high frequencies. So if you take a step back, remember we said high frequency cutoff is how high the track gets. So does it hit 20? But then high frequency energy is what's actually up there. So is our track just peaking at 20 or 19 and then spending most of its time in the lower frequencies? Or does our track have the full spectrum of sound? So simply put, just to summarize it, high frequency cutoff is how high it gets. High frequency energy is how detailed, how busy is it actually in those high frequencies. And that's the difference between crisp and detailed versus dull and lifeless. And if you're not a nerd, we can just look at that percentage. And that percentage is essentially a quality score. So you might see like 92%, 85%, whatever. So we call that the normalized cutoff. It's the most simple metric you can find in the tool. And pretty much if you see 90% or higher, that means it's likely a real high quality file. If you see 80% to 90%, it means it's good. It actually means it's decent, but it's not perfect. So it's still a high quality file. You can use it, you can take the risk. If you see below that, it's likely compressed or a fake high quality file. Don't use any of those. When I ran pretty much my whole library, so I've been using this tool for many months, by the way. And most of my files are high quality files. Some are in that the lower high quality, so between 80 to 90%. And I've tested some of those files out in real life, and it's kind of up to your judgment to listen to see, not see, I can't say see, you can't see sound. It's your judgment to listen and hear how does it actually sound. Some do sound obviously flat or weak. Those are the ones you discard, but most of the green ones are good to go. So now let's talk about something the tool does not show. So we've been talking about the high frequencies, but what about the low frequencies? This tool, at least it doesn't visually show destruction of low frequencies, but it's important for you as a DJ to know that compression hits the high frequencies first. So that's probably where you're going to lose information if you are going to lose information. In my personal experience, I've only seen one of my own tracks where the low frequencies felt weak. So compression hit it somewhere, but other than that, it's only ever the highs or the mids that get hit first, and then essentially you might create that weaker sound, that weaker sounding track. So just to kind of wrap it up, you know, as a DJ, it's not all about beat matching and phrasing and song selection. Those are basic skills, of course, but sometimes it is your file quality. So guys, run your files through this tool, see the results you get, make sure you're actually playing and using high quality files, because this is going to affect how your music sounds in front of people. I think this is a cool tool. Like I said, I've been using it for a while. Check it out. I'll leave a link below for you guys to click through, test out your files. And I think that's about it. So, by the way, usually I talk about my coaching program, my online coaching program. However, I'm working on something super cool that's going to keep me busy for the next 6 weeks. So I actually cannot take any more online coaching clients, but I'll still leave a link below if you want to book a call and we can talk about working together in the future potentially. But other than that, this cool project I'm working on for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to come out a better DJ myself and come out a better teacher. So look forward to that. I certainly look forward to it. And that's about it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, and peace.